Good evening, everybody, and welcome to, of course, the Jackery Labor Day sale stream. Now, guys, we got a bunch of very cool products today that we're going to be showing you guys at great price points. Now, don't sleep on these because there are some amazing sales for today and the next couple days. Now, with that being said, I want to welcome everybody here to this beautiful Monday night. That's right, it is definitely Monday. It's a little different for us to stream on a Monday, but it's Labor Day, so why not do it? Now, guys, like always, when we have these streams, we usually, guys, give you a very cool little code to use. We actually have a 5% off code down there for if you spend over $1,000. Now, Lois is in chat, so if you guys need that code, please ask, and she will post it for you guys. Now, with that being said, like I said, it's Labor Day. It's still camping season. We're getting almost ready for winter time. For those of you that are still camping, maybe a power station will work out for you guys for doing things. If you guys are getting ready to go hunting, maybe you guys are getting ready to go ice fishing, power stations can help you out as well. They could either run like a heater for you or even power up your devices for those times of need. Now, with that, like I said, we have that 5% off if you spend over $1,000 tonight. There's that code for you guys to add in there to get extra 5% off. Now, that is on top of the deals that we already got going for you. Now, we usually start off with cabling, and we're going to start that off tonight again with cabling. With most of these power stations, you're going to get a package like this with cabling. First and foremost, the cabling is going to have either a wall plug or a cigarette lighter plug or even a solar cable for you. Now, you'll either get a style like this, which is a nice large 3-prong style power cable for, of course, your wall charging, or you might get a cigarette lighter adapter style to charge your devices in your car. If you do not get those devices, you may get a USB-C to USB-C cable, or you might get a solar panel style cabling. Now, with the solar panel style cabling, we're going to talk about, of course, the cabling for that. Now, this is actually kind of important. A lot of people don't realize that the solar cables on some of these stations may either take an Anderson clip, and the Anderson clip's going to, of course, adapt down to the DC plug. It's either going to be the DC 7909 or the DC 8020. Now, with that being said, and I'm going to talk about this, the devices that are going to use the DC 8020 are going to be like the 1500 all the way up to the 3000 Pro. If you have a device under that, like let's say the E100 Plus up to the E1000 or the E1002, you're going to use the DC 7909 plug. Now, that plug is going to be, of course, one of these adapters. Now, like I said, we have the DC plug to, of course, USB-C, but then you're going to have the DC right here, 7909 adapter for the smaller devices. If you guys don't have the smaller device, then you're going to use, of course, the other one, which is the 8020 plug. So you're going to have those, and that's what you're going to plug into, of course, the power stations. The other side, of course, is going to be your solar panel adaptive plug. So depending on which one you get, that is going to be the plug you're going to use. So hopefully we kind of explain that. If you guys have questions about these plugs, definitely ask. We will have them here throughout the show to kind of show that with you. Good evening, Lois, and thank you for joining me as always. Darthwing, how are you doing? Abai, hello, how are you doing? All right, guys, we're going to start this off with the 100 plus power station, the mightiest but smallest power station. Now, we actually have it by itself or in a kit. Now, by itself is going to be about $89, right? So this is, of course, the 100 plus by itself at $89. Now, $89 is a great price point for this power station. It's about 40% off. If you want it with, of course, the solar panel, that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do and get it for $179. Now, this station and, of course, this is the solar panel, the Mini 40 solar panel, a 40-watt solar panel that's notebook sized. Right on, Will. I'm glad to hear that. How'd you enjoy using it? Now, the Mini right here, guys, 100 plus, 99 watt hours of power, 31,000 milliamps in this little power station, under 2 hours, fully charged on a wall plug. We're connected up to the solar panel. I agree, they are definitely very easy to use, very simplified, especially even in the app. If you have the power station that works with the app is simplified that pretty much most people can use it. Larger off the. I'm going to tell you, Will. I would tell you to go with probably the 2000 plus system. That's going to be like your largest one to use that has multiple batteries that can be connected up. But the 1000 plus system would also work out well for you because they're going to actually have three batteries. The 2000 plus is going to be your largest option with up to 5 batteries, or you can run it parallel with the second 2000 plus system in 10 batteries. 5 batteries alone is about 12 kilowatts of hour power. 10 batteries is about 24 kilowatts of hour power. So those are going to be your best ones for off the grid living. I agree. I agree. Like the Mini 40 that we're showing you guys in this kit deploys simply. This is the size of a notebook. You literally unfold it and you'll pop it out. It's a trifold design, quad panel, and that's all it takes to have this out. It's that simplified. And then you plug it in literally with that cable I just showed you. That's the easiest as it is. It's a really simplified piece right there for the Mini 40. $179 is a great price point. Like I said, 31,000 milliamps, 99 watt hours of power. This will allow you to play like a Nintendo Switch for about 4 hours or so. Charge your iPhone for about 6 times. Your laptop about 6 hours of runtime with this. Now it is a triple or dual USB-C ports. They are in and out ports, and then those are going to be 100 watts capable of in and out power. Then you're going to have that 18 watt USB-A port over there as well. Now, this little mini thing is actually TSA approved, so you can actually take it on an airplane. It does have a digital screen. It's going to show you guys about 21% charged right now. I have not used it in a few weeks because I haven't had a need to use it, which is kind of cool. So it's just sitting at 21%. You guys probably saw it on the last show. Easily used display, simplified, less than, of course, 3 pounds. It's like 2.1 pounds. 31,000 milliamps at 3.2 volts is going to do well for you. Less than 2-hour charge time on, of course, the wall plug. And that's actually a good thing to have that wall plug. Now, if you're using that Mini 40 solar panel, 5.5 hours is what it's going to take to charge this device. Now, yes, guys, you can plug in the 100-watt solar panel into this and do a 2-hour charge if you wanted, or even their old 80-watt panel. If you're lucky enough to have the 80-watt panel, 2.5 hours it'll take to charge this. This is a great piece at a great price point. At 22% off full kit, you can't go wrong, and it's less than 6 pounds total weight. For all of these, you can put it in a backpack, carry it around with this and that Mini 40 solar panel without a problem. So this is like a notebook size. It's literally 12 inches by 10 inches by half inch thick. Super thin, super lightweight, easy to carry, both of these pieces. Now, I actually used this 100 plus to power a Nintendo Switch and, of course, a portable monitor for over 3.5 hours on a stream one day. So to be able to do that, it's actually kind of cool. It's got enough power to keep your kids happy in the back of a car or even on camping trip to charge up your phones. I mean, most weekend camping trips, you're not going to need to charge your phone more than a couple times unless you're really addicted to using that phone. Then you might have to charge it a little more. But 100 plus or the 100 plus and Mini 40 solar panel. Great little piece. Any questions about that? I believe we also have the 240 up next. Hey, thank you for the follow over there, guys. Appreciate that. Now, the 240 is a little bit bigger of a device. It is going to weigh a little under 7 pounds. Now, it does have a fixed handle, has, of course, the original style housing. It's got the original lithium-ion battery style as well, but it has that Class 9 drop protection and fire-retardant shell. Now, with this, 240 watt-hours of power, one AC outlet. That AC outlet's going to do, of course, 200 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 400 if you guys need to go a little over that clean power. Now, it does have dual USB-A ports, 5 volt, 2.4 amps, a DC input port. That's going to be your 7909 plug, and that's where you're going to wall plug it, solar charge it, or, of course, cigarette lighter charge it. Now, over here, you do have a DC 12 volt, 10 amp cigarette lighter plug, which means you guys can use an adapter to connect up, let's say, multiple USB-C ports. So, yes, this doesn't have USB-C ports. We use that cigarette lighter plug, add a USB-C port, and you're good to go. This is going to take about 3.5 hours to charge this device on a plug. Now, that's not really that bad of a charge time. Yes, it is, of course, the original charging style, so it takes a little bit longer. If you're using the car cigarette lighter, guys, about 5 hours. Why do you always try to get me out of work? Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't get no one out of work. I'm working on my day off. It's my day off. I'm working. This is cool though. 5.5 hours, guys, on a 100-watt solar panel. You're good to go. Runtime. We're going to talk about 4 drone batteries, guys. 15 DSLR batteries. Is Jackery made in the USA? Steve, I do not actually have that answer on top of my head. Lois is in chat. She can answer that for you. I'm just here streaming with my own stuff for them. I know their headquarters was in California, so, but I really don't think it's made in the U.S. now. I cannot answer that off the top of my head. I don't know what to tell you, Sheila. And Jennifer, how are you doing? So the 240, guys, the original 240 is a beautiful little piece at a great price point for you. This is going to be about $219. That's $20 clippable coupon. Will allow you to run a mini cooler. Will allow you to run, of course, that flat screen TV. It'll allow you to run a laptop about 3 hours. Your tablet's about 7 hours or so, which is great. Mini 240 is a beautiful piece at a great price point. But I'm going to tell you guys, they redid the 240, which is amazing. I love this. This is called the 240 V2. Now, the 240 V2 is an upgrade in a whole bunch of stuff, including the housing. It also goes to a lithium LiFePO4 cell. It also has what's called Charge Shield 2.0 in this. Charge Shield 2.0 is going to allow you to fully charge this in 1 hour of charge time. Now, the 240 V2 also jumps up from the 240 watt-hours power to 256 watt-hours of power. Now, you still have the single USB-A port, or the AC outlet. This is 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600, so it jumps up there as well. Now, moving from the DC 7909 plug, it actually has the 3-prong wall plug that's going to allow you to charge it in that 1 hour charge time. Now, with this, you do have 2 USB-A ports. One's a 100-watt in and out port. The other is, of course, a 15-watt port over here for you. Then you have a 15-watt USB-A port. Now, you still have the 12-volt 10-amp plug, but you also have a flashlight on this as well. Now, with it goes to the new display, so it has actually a nice darker and higher contrast screen, which will kind of power it up and get it cycle. Once it's cycled, we'll bring it closer so you guys can actually see that screen. Now, another thing that the 240 V2 adds in is app control. Now, this is less than 8 pounds. It's approximately 7.9 pounds. So, still in very, very portability range, but it has, of course, app control. The app's going to allow you to turn on the flashlight. It's going to allow you to turn on the 12-volt 10-amp plug. It's going to allow you to turn on the USB-C ports or USB-A ports or even that AC outlet. It'll also allow you to shut them off. Now, it still has that fire retardant shell, lightweight capacity, and usability with this. Now, 1 hour charge rate on the wall. Yeah, they were founded in California in 2002. Lois is in chat. She can actually answer where they are actually hand produced. I cannot answer that. I don't actually have the pamphlet for that right in front of me. I would definitely answer that if I had it in front of me. 2 hours fully charged on the USB-C port, guys, if you wanted to do that, or a 100-watt solar panel. It's going to take about 3 hours to charge this. This will allow you to run a Bluetooth 10-watt speaker for about 16 hours. Still going to do about 4.5 drone batteries. It's going to allow you to do, of course, a phone about 12 times or a laptop 3 hours of runtime with this. Now, technically, this could run a 45-watt house fan for about 4 hours or a 90-watt mini fridge for 2 hours if you needed to with that. Now, another cool part is if you want to run that light bulb that's built onto this, about 20 hours of runtime. For those of you having internet issues, plug in your Wi-Fi router and get about 14 hours of runtime. For the people that need to keep their heating pad on their pet nice and warm, about 6 hours with that 30-watt heating pad, which is decent. Or if you guys need a heated blanket, about 3.5 hours. This is a $179 price tag by itself. Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you. Yeah, I didn't have that. I didn't have that information in front of me, Jennifer. I don't have all those sheets opened. Normally, I have certain sheets open, and that one I did not have today. If you want, of course, the Mini 40 with it, you guys can get, of course, the 240 V2 and the Mini 40 solar panel for about $249. Now, this is actually a really cool portable package deal. This is going to allow you to do great camping trips, hiking trips, charging on the go, or just quick emergencies. It's a great little package right here with the Mini 40. Still less than 10 pounds total. Add both of these, it's literally less than 2 pounds. This is 2.1 pounds. This is 7.9 pounds. So you have that right here. Nice, lightweight, and portable. This is a beautiful one. I like the new one. You guys need. Another cool part is look at the silicone pad at the bottom. This one also has the foldable handle. The more you know. I'm always learning. Always learning, Jennifer. All right, I think we're going to move on to the 300. Now, the 300 is actually still a really cool one. It's about 293 watt hours of power for you. It is a fixed handle style and is, of course, less than 8 pounds right here for you. It's technically 7.1 pounds. 293 watt hours of power goes back, of course, to the original fixed handle. It has, of course, 2 AC outlets. That means you guys can plug in more than one house-style plug. Now, 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600. Now, you have 2 USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port. That USB-C port on this one is actually a 60 watt in and out port. Now, when you actually do the wall charging through the DC plug and that USB-C together, it will allow you to have it charged in under 2 hours, or about, I think it's like 2 hours total. 3.5 hours wall plug by itself. 3.6 hours, I think, with the cigarette car lighter, if I can remember right with that. That's actually kind of cool. Now, if you have the 100 watt Solar Saga solar panel, about 4.5 hours. This will allow you to run a Nintendo Switch for over 40 hours of runtime, which is amazing. Most Nintendo Switches are about 18 watts of power. Now, you're drawing about 6 to 7 batteries. If you guys record a lot of videography and stuff, content creations or stuff, these little batteries, you're going to get over 15 of these charges off of that, which is kind of cool. Now, these are actually DSLR batteries for the Sony ZV-E1. I also have a stack of Sony ZV-E10 batteries sitting down here because I use a lot of those cameras for this. Now, lightweight, portable, this is approximately about 8 inches tall by 9 inches wide. I think it's like 5.25 inches deep. It's a nice packaged size device. 6 outlets. It's going to have all the connectability and usability that you could want with this. So if you need $198 for a 300 Jackery Explorer 300 with 293 watt hours of power. Oh. One sip of water, everybody. Now, we are going to switch camera views. We're going to move down to the table. We're going to talk about that bad boy right in the middle. Now, let's just zoom on into it. Let's drop down. That is, of course, the Solar Saga. No, it's not. It's a Jackery Explorer 500, guys. Come on. You're supposed to be paying attention here, guys. There's a test later. Now, the Jackery Explorer 500 is a beautiful power station for you guys. And now the Jackery Explorer 500 is actually an amazing power station with a good amount of power that's going to do well for you. Now, 518 watt hours of power in this device. It does weigh 13.25 pounds. So it weighs a little bit more than the smaller ones, but packs a little bit more in the battery range. Now, it goes back to the original, of course, fixed housing with the fixed handle, but does actually add a flashlight, unlike the original 240 or the 300. Now, with that, of course, you have the single light on the side, or if I hold it down, SOS pattern for the other people that need to do that. Now, on the side, you have a large orange pattern with, of course, cooling fins that open it up for you. Now, it has the original screen, but it is a nice large screen, easy to read. It does have, of course, the DC input plug and multiple DC output ports. Now, this has 3 of the original USB-A ports, 5 volt, 2.4 amps, and, of course, a 500 watt pure sine wave AC outlet. Now, that 500 watt pure sine wave power can actually go up to 1,000 if you need to be. Now, with this, though, the charge time is going to jump up a little on this because it has the original technology. about 5.5 hours on a wall plug or 5.5 hours on a cigarette lighter in your car. For those of you that maybe have a 100-watt solar panel, guys, you're going to get about 7.5 hours is where it's going to charge. This is a $329 price tag. That's like a 34% savings. Now, with that, if you wanted to, you can get the 500 and the 100-watt solar panel. Now, that is, of course, a better package for you guys if you want it. It's about a $549 price tag with that and the 100-watt solar panel. Now, the runtime with this is going to allow you to run, let's say, a flat screen TV like that big one back there for about 7 hours of runtime. Your mini cooler about 9 hours. Now, for those of you that want to run other devices besides those things, like let's say electric blanket, about 4 hours. Your laptop up to approximately 30 hours depending on the wattage of that laptop. Now, for those of you camping, like I said, camping, it's still camping season, inflatable rafts and stuff like that. You can run one of them pumps for that, about 8 hours of runtime with that. That's actually really cool. Now, the 100-watt solar panel, of course, is going to be the original 100-watt solar panel. That's going to be this panel right here that's going to come in that 500 kit. This is a good piece, nice and large solar panel, easy to set up. That's literally all it's going to take once you have it set up. It does have the kickstand built on, and that's what you're just going to tip it with. Fully waterproof, water resistant, can be used out in the rain without a problem. For the solar panel, put your stations up, guys. The stations themselves are not waterproof. Now, 13.5 pounds is actually acceptable. It is, of course, very easy to carry. For most people, you can pick this up and carry it around without a problem. Just like the rest, it does have, of course, silicone pads on the bottom, so you can set it down on surfaces and not worry about marring up the surfaces. Maybe you set it on the hood of your car. Maybe you set it on a glass countertop or maybe a marble countertop. You don't want to mar those surfaces up, so it's got silicone pads to protect that for you. Class 9 drop protection, of course, with this. And it's got, of course, fire retardant shell. Now, both of these packages are a great deal. $329 by itself, or if you want it with that 100-watt solar panel, $529 or $549, I think it is. Yep, $549, guys. I had to make sure I didn't have the price sitting right in front of me, right off the back. So both of those are amazing options for you if you want one of those smaller power stations. Now, we're going to move away from smaller to bigger. And what do I mean by bigger? We're going to talk about the original 1000. Now, by moving to the original 1000, we're going back to the other camera. We're going to pop over here, and we're actually going to go up to camera 3. Now, that is actually right there on the corner. If we move over here, there is, of course, the original 1000. Now, we're going to zoom on in. We're going to move up there for you a little higher. Zoom on in a little more. That's the original 1000, and that's what we're going to pop in and talk about. Cherry, hello, how are you doing? Now, this, of course, is a beautiful power station. Now, the Jackery Explorer 1000 power station is 1,002 watt-hours of power. Now, this has actually got 3 AC outlets. Those 3 AC outlets are going to do 1,000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at, of course, 2,000 if you need to. Now, of course, it does have 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and that round 12-volt 10-amp DC plug. Now, what you're going to notice above that DC 12-volt plug, of course, or that 12-volt 10-amp plug, is, of course, the Anderson clip. Now, the Anderson clip is a red and black plug that's going to plug in there. On the opposite end of the Anderson clip is going to be, of course, the DC round plugs for multiple solar panels. Now, you can only plug in 2 solar panels into this, and those are going to be the 100-watt solar panels. Now, with, of course, that 5-hour charge time on a wall plug, you'll be up and running that 1,002 watt-hours of power without a problem. Add 2 of those 100-watt solar panels, and, of course, you guys got a 6-hour charge rate for this. Now, runtime, because you do have 1,002 watt-hours of power, you'll be able to run multiple devices without an issue on this, of course. Now, what could we run with this? You guys could run, let's say, that flat screen TV 9 hours, that 5-watt light bulb, about 65 hours, 11 hours on a heated blanket. For those of you that want to cook, of course, without an electric griddle or something, 50 minutes on that runtime. Hello, how are you doing? And welcome to the stream. Now, Coffee drinkers, if you need coffee, about 88 minutes on a coffee maker. That's a big coffee maker. Now, technically, it's 1,002 watt hours of power. 1,000 watts of pure sine wave power means you technically could run a window AC for about an hour if you really needed to. Now, be careful on the window AC. Make sure that you're running like, let's say, an 800 watt window AC. Don't really go over the 1,000 with this one because you're not going to get a long run time with that. That's the original 1,000. Now, we have, of course, the 1,000 V2. Now, the 1,000 V2 is in the bottom, of course, bottom center. So let's move down right there. This is the 1,000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2 has a step up in technologies and has a very good discount tonight. This is going to be about $599. Where this changes, of course, is the housing. So you do have the newer housing. Of course, you have, that newer screen. Has a flashlight built on the front instead of the side. It moves from the original lithium ion to a LiFePO 4 cell. It also has 3 AC outlets. Those 3 AC outlets are going to allow you to do 1,500 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 3,000 for that. Now, it also has 2 USB-C ports. The USB-C port is going to be a 100-watt port. That's an in and out port, or the 30-watt USB-C port. Now, you also have an 18-watt USB-A port down below it and a 12-volt 10-amp plug above it. Now, just like, of course, the other new device that we showed you, the 240 V2, this will actually have Charge Shield 2.0 as well. 1 hour charge time, fully charged, you're good to go with the 1,070 watt hours of power. That's actually quite amazing. So you have a step up in charge rate, but you also have a step up in power as well. If you want to fully charge it on that USB-C 100-watt port, little under 2 hours and you're good to go. Now, you could put it what's called quiet charging mode. It's going to be about 5 hours charge rate. You'll actually have to pull up the app. The app is going to allow you to control this device completely, and it will do that for you. Now, unlike the other one, this does not have a fixed handle and can be folded up for you. Now, runtime, of course, with this, because you do have this, you have about 10-year battery life at 4,000 full charge cycles before it drops to 70% capacity. You're going to get more than 10 years, but at the first 10 years is a full 100% battery capacity. Now, with that, of course, you guys will be able to use this to charge your phones, your drone batteries, your Bluetooth speakers, or you guys could do that 12-hour heated blanket for you, or even run a mini fridge for 14 hours. That flat screen TV, 10 hours. Orbital sanders, I think orbital sanders and drills are about 2 hours of runtime with that one, of course. Now, another cool idea is, of course, it's coming into, of course, October, where you guys are going to see Halloween. Plug in some inflatable decorations and run it off of this with the solar panel connectability. 1000 V2 by itself is $599, which is a great price point, but we also have the 1000 V2 and the solar panel option. Now, the 1000 V2 and solar panel option that you're going to see here is the 200-watt Solar Saga. It is their largest solar panel that they offer. Now, yes, this 1000 V2 can actually have that and handle it plugged in. But not only can it handle one plugged in, it can actually handle 2 of these plugged in. And then when you have it plugged in with that, you're going to get a 3-hour charge time with that. I love that idea. Now, I believe the 200-watt panels that comes in, this is like a bifacial solar charging style, which is beautiful. It's a nice option for you guys with this. And, of course, you guys can run solar. You can run, let's be honest, you can run in window AC. You can run your gaming computers. You can run your TVs. You can do a 520-watt refrigerator off the 1000 V2. They're both great price points. At $599 by itself or $899 with the solar panel. Amazing option. Now, I believe the solar panel is their large 200-watt Solar Saga solar panel, which I actually have. It is a large panel. It's usually why I don't show it live because it is so large in my area. It's kind of hard to handle and, of course, talk to you guys. Any questions about the 1000 V2 and its technologies? Now, we are going to talk about the app before we move on to the next device because a lot of these are going to use the app. Now, the Jackery Explorer app is, of course, iOS and Android based, So whatever system you have, you can plug it in. You can even put it on your tablets or, of course, your PCs to control this. Now, right here, of course, is the app. You'll see a little plus symbol up in the corner. You hit that plus symbol, you're going to pop over to another screen. It's going to say, is the icon flashing? And then you click the icon's flashing. Of course, right there, it's saying the 240 is powered up. Now, it may not power. Oh, yeah, it's not going to bind right now because I'm not hooked up to the actual Wi-Fi as well. But with that, you guys can see you can have multiple devices on the app for you guys to run these pieces. I will pop over and grab, of course, like the 300. It's going to show you guys the actual charge cycle that's left. It's going to show you guys the temperature that it's running at. And it'll show you guys all of the plugs. Now, if you happen to have a light on it, it'll also turn that light on low, medium, or SOS with this. Now, if I hit that AC plug, it's going to turn off that light on the center of our table back there by a flip of a switch. I hit it again. It's going to take about 20 milliseconds before it comes back on. Just that simple. Right there we go. It's on and we're good to go. Easily usable app. The app is going to allow you to not have to get up and, of course, go over there and shut something off. Let's say, oh, I left the heater on and I don't want to leave it on, or I left the heated blanket on and I don't want to do that. Flip that switch in the app and you're good to go. Solar panel is beautiful. Power station's amazing. It's 31% off with the solar panel. I'm going to tell you, get it with the solar panel. For those of you that want to go into, of course, bigger stations. Now, we mean like the 2000 Pro. Now, if we go over here, you're going to see that the 2000 Pro, let's drop down a little, is right there for us. Now, that is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro station. Now, we have the 2000 Pro plus the 200-watt solar panel and, of course, the carousel. Now, I'm going to have Lois check because I don't actually see it available right now. Lois, is that no longer available tonight? Should we skip this product? Let's make sure. I don't see it currently available right now, so we might skip this product and move into a bigger station. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm not seeing it available right now, so we're going to move on to a bigger station. Let's move on to the 3000 then. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the 3000. We're going to jump over to their largest standalone system tonight. Now, the 3000 is on this table next to the 2000 Plus. The 3000 is the one that's lit up and has the LED lights plugged into it. Now, this is a really cool kit that you're looking at tonight. This is normally a $4,000 price tag. It's like 30% off. The 3000 Pro is going to come with 2 of the 200-watt solar panels in this kit. Now remember, because you're over that $1,000 price tag, you can use that 5% off code that we have down there in that banner for you. Now, this is their largest standalone system. It's a large system. Over 3,024 watt hours of power, which means you can technically reach out to your energy companies and check and see if they offer the residential clean energy credit program, which can unlock to about, I think, up to like 30% off if you qualify. With the 3,024 watt hours of power on this device, it does work with the app. It has a 2.5 hour charge rate on a wall plug for you. Now you have 5 AC outlets. Now those AC outlets are going to be 4 standard 3-prong American style, and then you have that 5th, which is the larger style of plug like your TIG or MIG welders, your old school washers and dryers, and stoves and fridges. Now with this, of course, 3,000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 6,000 watts. That means you can run a TIG welder, which is like a 5,800 watt draw system. Now, 2.5 hours on a wall plug. If you had 6 of those 200 watt panels, I think it's like 3.5 hours of charge time. For those of you that want to, you can run 1,100 watt window AC off of this. That's going to be like your 10,000 BTU AC for about 3 hours of runtime. That means you can run your window AC, get a nice cool in your house. For those of you that just needed to get your fridge through the night, most of your standard double-door refrigerators are about 520 watts of draw. So you're going to get about 4.5 to 5 hours of runtime, maybe longer depending on the draw that your refrigerator is coming. Now, they always give you that higher draw rate for the standard double doors. That flat screen TV sitting behind there, guys, you're going to get about 35 hours of runtime. Now, you can run a lot more with this. You can run that 5800 watt TIG welder for approximately an hour to a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes, which is kind of cool. I like that option. If you want to run, let's say, electric water pump, like your sump pumps, about 32 hours of runtime on a 60 watt pump. For those of you that want to do, of course, a movie night, get about 21 hours off your 100 watt movie projector. The 60 watt card refrigerator, about 43 hours of time. 220 hours on that 3 watt light bulb. And that's actually a good amount of time for you. Now, with the home backup, guys, you can run your microwaves. You can run, of course, your 800 watt stove and fridge. About 3 hours with that one. Toasters about 650 watts, so about maybe 6 hours or so. Blenders, guys, you can do pretty much everything. Like this light that we've had plugged in, I've been pretty much running that light for a long time on these streams through that device without having to charge this device up, and that's actually really cool. We're finally down under 50% battery. Probably about time to recharge it for this for more streams with that. But I will warn you, it is, of course, 64 pounds by itself and then 21 pounds per solar panel. Now, the station is, of course, very large and heavy, so they added 2 3-inch large wheels, an aluminum telescopic handle that's going to allow you to, of course, roll it around like a suitcase. Now, they also added 2 large orange handles, so you can lift it up and heave it onto your tailgate of your pickup, tables like me, or putting it up on a shelf. Phil, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Now, this is an amazing piece, great price point. It's only about 30 decibels. Most of that is going to be a little fan, and of course, the switch is clicky. Now, very safe, reliable with that pure sine wave. Smart app control can run to about -4 degrees. Technically, you could probably run it a little more than that, but it's going to, of course, draw your battery down quicker in the colder temperatures with this. Now, you could also use it as what's called an EPS, emergency power supply. You'll plug it into your wall. You'll have that switched on, and if, of course, that it notices that the wall plug goes out, it's going to switch straight over to, of course, the charging off of the device in under 20 milliseconds. That's actually kind of cool. Now, remember, though, the AC input-output power is about 1,440 watts under bypass mode. You're not going to get that full 3,000 upgrade, so 1,440 watts and bypass mode. Hey, Wiley, how you doing, buddy? So that is, of course, the 3000 Pro station. Beautiful, beautiful station. Now, we're going to move, of course, to the 300 watt power station. Now, this is a cool one. Now, just like, of course, the 240 V2 and, of course, that beautiful little piece, this is, of course, the 300. Now, the 300 is 288 watt hours of power at $239. Now, that's a 30% savings with this. Now, under an hour and a half charge rate with this device, which is kind of cool. I love that charge rate on a wall plug, so you're under 2 hours. If you want to use, of course, the USB-C port on here, about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Now, you have a 300 watt pure sine wave power, but it does peak at 600. You have that 100 watt USB-C in and out port, and then you have, of course, the 15 watt USB-C port as well. You have a 15 watt USB-A port and, of course, 12 volt 10 amp DC plug. Has a flashlight and a handle that folds down. Less than 6 pounds. This is lightweight. Now, just like the others, you could run your Nintendo Switch for about 40 hours, your house fan about 4.5 hours, your drone batteries about 5 times with this. $239 is a great price point, but always get the device with the solar panel if they have an option. $299, you're going to get this one and the perfect pairing, the Mini 40 solar panel. 7.5 hours is all it's going to take to charge this with this, of course, backpack-sized solar panel. Now, that's a beautiful option and, of course, a beautiful idea of a kit. I like this. So the Mini 300 Plus, Mini 40, that's going to be my option if you're going to do it. Sheila, what are you doing popping around over here and stalking me? Huh? Look at that. Sheila came in. Phil came in. Got everybody popping in today. Now remember, guys, Labor Day sales, these sales are actually really, really decently priced. Another cool thing about this is we got that 5% code for you there. And of course, Lois just popped it down. I actually have Phil, if you're on, share that on the other channels too, please. Since Justin is sleeping, I think. So this is a cool one. You guys like? Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that, buddy. Oh, there's Justin. All right, guys, let's talk about the 600 plus. Oh, you were? You were just playing games, I bet. 600 plus is another really amazing power station. Now, this has got that new technology and all. 632 watt hours of power. And if I pop over here, you're probably wondering, well, where is it? Well, if we drop this table down, you guys are going to see it right on the end. Now, hopefully, I got enough lighting tonight. For some reason, my lighting still looks slightly off. That is the 600 plus power station. Now, this power station weighs approximately 16 pounds. It is, of course, 632 watt hours of power. Now, with this, it's got Charge Shield 2.0 with a 1 hour charge rate on a wall plug. You have two AC outlets. Those AC outlets are going to do 800 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 1600 if you want to. You do have the 18 watt USB-A port on the bottom, the 100 watt in and out port in the middle, and then, of course, the 30 watt USB-C port on top of that. Now, with that, of course, you have that 12 volt 10 amp plug. And if I move over here, I'm actually going to power it up for you guys. I'm going to turn on a flashlight. Right there, we have, of course, multiple brightnesses, SOS pattern, and off with this. Has, of course, the handle. Now, with this actual piece, you're going to have a nice charge time at 1 hour on a wall plug, which means you guys can run, let's say, a car refrigerator for about 6 hours if you really wanted to. If you want to run, let's say, a 10 watt speaker, about 36 hours with that, of course. You'll also be able to run laptops, charge phones. You can even do, of course, that house fan for 10 hours or your refrigerator for 1 hour or more. Now, with this, of course, we're going to talk about the price tag. It is, of course, $449 by itself. But we also have the option of it and the 100 watt solar panel at $599. Now, this is where I want to show you guys this because the 100 watt panel that comes with this kit is a little bit different than the other ones that you normally see. This is the 100 watt solar panel that comes with this. This is what's called a bifacial solar panel. What does bifacial mean? It means it can actually charge on both sides, which is beautiful. You have a blue side and a black side. It has, of course, these nice large kickstands. It does have, of course, clips that will pop it off. It is a trifold design, but it is a quad panel. Now, you're seeing, of course, all of that, but if I flip it over, you'll see the black side as well. This is a monocrystalline solar cell. It is fully waterproof and water resistant, harsh and wet weather, and is very large. So that's the difference. So the original is a bifold. This is, of course, a bifacial trifold. I actually like this panel that comes with this. Now, this is $599 price tag. Always, if you want, guys, get it with the panel. Because the panel, that's one less thing you have to get. So that is the 100 watt panel that comes with the 600 plus. Beautiful little option right there. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking for a piece of technology. You probably heard that door open. My kid came home from work. Now we're going to be moving on to their modular systems. Now, modular system means you can add batteries to this. Now, we had a question earlier, what would you pick for off-the-grid living? The next two stations that we're going to talk about is the 1000 plus that can actually have batteries and the 2000 plus system. Now, we're going to move over, of course, to this, and I'm going to bounce up to, of course, the top. Now, the 1000 plus is actually on this side. We're going to attempt to zoom in slightly for you. Now, we're going to talk about the 1000 plus system right here. Now, this is, of course, 1,264 watt hours of power at $849 price tag. Now, with this, of course, you can fully charge it in under 2 hours on a wall plug, or if you guys have a car charger, about 7 hours. 1,264 watt hours of 1,264 watt hours of power in this device, and of course 3 AC outlets. Now, those standard AC outlets are going to allow you to plug in, let's say, your ACs. It's going to allow you to plug in your TVs, your air mattresses, or anything that you really want to. It's 2,000 watts of pure sine wave power through the AC outlets, but can peak at 4,000 if you really need to step it up. Now, with this one, you have two USB-C ports, and if I actually zoom in a little bit farther, you're going to see those two USB-C ports right there. Those two USB-C ports are 100 watt capable, and of course, you have two USB-A ports at 18 watts capability as well. Now, with this, you do have a flashlight on there. That flashlight's going to do about 3 watts to 5 watts of power, so you have that built in there, multiple brightnesses, and still works with the app. Now, that's actually kind of cool. The charge time, of course, is a great charge time. 10-year battery lifespan at 4,000 charge cycles before it drops down to about 70 to 80% battery life in the system that this carries. Now, we can get into a few more things like what you could technically run. You could run power drills, pruning saws, angle grinders. You technically could run your projectors, your refrigerators, your window ACs, even your lawnmowers off of this because it can do the power. You just may not get a multiple runtime off the device by itself. $849 is a great price point for the system. Now, we also have the 1,000 plus and the multiple solar panel kit. Now, this is a $1,500 price tag, but there's a $150 clippable coupon on Amazon for you, plus that 5% code that we've been sharing with you because it's over $1,000. So with this, you're going to get the station and 2 of the 100-watt Solar Saga solar panels. And it's going to be the original panels, which are beautiful panels and work amazingly well for you. Now, I love that price point, but the modular of this system is where it's really at because we have the full kit. Now, this is the 1,000 plus kit. Now, this is going to be, of course, that system and the battery, if I can zoom my camera back out, the battery that's sitting right above of it and 2 solar panels. This is going to be normally like a $2,100 price tag. It's 10% off. It's like $1,889 tonight. That means you just doubled your runtime because it's got 2,528 watt hours of power in this device now with the battery. Now, you can technically add 3 batteries total to the system, which means you can have over 5 kilowatts of hour power with this. I think it's like 5,056 watt hours of power with all 3 batteries and the station. So if you're thinking about it, that's technically 4 batteries total in one device, which means you have a lot of power that's going to allow you to run a lot of devices at a longer period of runtime. The sky's the limit with it because, yes, 2,000 watts of pure sine wave power, 4,000 peak is amazingly well done. App control, of course, you can turn on the AC plugs, you can turn on the DC plugs, you can turn on that light, of course. You can even do run times, you can do like lower voltage modes, you can even set up time modes. The app is, of course, brilliantly done. If you need to add extra batteries, the batteries I believe are about $539 a battery. So if you need a battery, about $539 to add an extra battery is like a no-brainer. So you have full kit here. You have the station by itself for $849, or you can get the station and 2 solar panels for $14.99 with that, of course, coupon. Or you can get, of course, the station and the battery and 2 solar panels for $18.89. Amazing deal for you guys. Sheila. All right, guys, we're going to move to the largest modular system, which is going to be that bad boy on the table. We're going to move over, of course, right here. We're going to talk about the 2,000 plus system. Now, this is going to be your creme de la creme. This is going to be your off-the-grid living type of station. Now, normally this station is about $2,200. It's 27% off today. It's a $1,599 price tag. Now, this is, of course, the 2,000 plus. It is 2,042 watt hours of power and a 64-pound package. Now, we're going to zoom in. You guys can see right there. It has 5 AC outlets. Those AC outlets are going to do 3,000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 6,000 watts. It has the dual USB-C ports and the dual USB-A ports. The USB-C ports are 100-watt ports, and the USB-C ports are, of course, 18-watt ports. Now, underneath that little plug next to the light above it is an actual 12-volt 10-amp cigarette lighter plug. Now, just like, of course, the 3000, it's got 2 large 3-inch wheels. It's also got, of course, large handles and a telescopic aluminum handle that, of course, can collapse inside the device. That means you're going to be able to wheel it around. Now, I've wheeled it across carpet, I've wheeled it across dirt, I've wheeled it across grass, I've done it across concrete, pavement, and a few other devices, including sand. The only part I ever had problem wheeling it was of crossed sand. Because of the weight, the sand wants to sink down, just like your feet would when you're walking through sand. The weight will start rolling, and it, of course, will sink in, so it'll give you a little resistance. That's the only resistance I have with that. Yeah, I love the toe handle. The handle is beautifully well done. It's actually super strong, too. I like that they made it aluminum and not plastic, so they made sure that you had the stability for the device with that, which is kind of great. Now, like I said, with this, you're going to have about a 2-hour charge cycle for the device by itself on a wall plug. If you want to put it in your RV, your toy hauler, your motorhome, plug it into the cigarette lighter, it's going to take about 25 hours. So multiple day trip cross country and you're good to go. Now, for those of you that have solar panels, about 6 of those is going to take about 2 hours to fully charge with the 200 watt panels. You can run an air conditioner with this. The 1150 watt window AC is going to be able to run about a little under 2 hours of runtime. For the people that need CPAP machines, about 150 hours of runtime with the CPAP machine. 3 hours with the 520 watt refrigerator, of course. Your microwave, about a little under an hour and a half if it's like 1100 watt microwave. Where we're going to get at, of course, with this is like your hair dryers. You're going to get about an hour or so with the hair dryer on the 2000 plus system. Now, mini fridges, 14 hours of runtime. Most mini fridges are about 90 watts of power. If you have a portable freezer, 60 watt portable freezer, about 26 hours. That's going to be like your camping freezer, right? Angle grinders, you'll get about 4 hours of runtime. Your 5800 watt welding machine on the 2000 will give you about a half hour of runtime. If you need to do inverted heaters, air pumps, drone batteries, your phones, gaming computers, your TVs, your house stoves can all be run off, of course, that 2000 plus without an issue. And the smart app control is beautifully well done, just like the rest. So you have the access to this. $1,599 by itself is a beautiful, beautiful price tag for the 2000 plus. Now, we also have the 2000 plus and dual solar panel kit. Now, this is normally $3,300. It's like $3,099, but there's actually a $1,100 clippable coupon on Amazon for this package. So you're going to get another $1,100 off this package. So that's going to be the station and 2 of the 200 watt panels. Also use that 5% code that we got down there because you're over $1,000 and you're going to save another 5% off of this. That's a great idea because it does come with the solar panels and, of course, the station. So really amazing idea with that. Now, where it's really at is going to be what's called the 4000 kit. Now, the 4000 kit is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus and, of course, the battery. Now, yes, that means the battery that's sitting right on top of it. That's going to be the Jackery Explorer E2000 Plus battery. Now, you just doubled your runtime to 4,085 watt hours of power. Now, the full kit comes with the battery, the station, and 2 solar panels. Now, that's about a $4,399 price tag, but there's a $1,800 code. So there's an $1,800 clippable coupon on Amazon. It is a yellow banner for that code or that coupon, guys. You'll see the little banner that says coupon. Click it, of course, check it. Gives you $1,800 off. Then, of course, when you go to purchase it, use that 5% code that we got down there for you. You get another 5% off. Now, I said it's a modular system. That means you can add 5 batteries total because this kit has 1 extra battery, but you can add 5 total to the station alone. It's going to give you 12 kilowatts of hour power. Now, since you're over 3,000 watts, you can actually reach out to your energy utility provider, see if they have the clean energy programs, and you might be able to get about 30% tax credit with that. Now, another cool part is yes, you have the 2000 plus, you can add 5 batteries to the system itself. Or you can actually run the system in parallel with another 2000 plus. When you connect it in parallel, you can add 10 batteries total and have 24 kilowatts of hour power. on this device. Now, the station alone can actually have 6 panels, 6 of the 200-watt solar panels. This kit comes with 2 of those. Add 4 more, you can have 6 of them to the power station alone. You'll also be able to add a couple solar panels to the power battery as well on top of that. It actually has the plugs for those on the back of the battery, so you can actually add 2 solar panels to each battery. And I love that you can add solar panels to the batteries as well. Great price point right there for that. Any questions about that full kit, please ask. Now, we also have the battery and the carousel. If you guys need an extra battery, it's normally $1,600 price tag. It's like $13.99 today, but there's a $200 clippable coupon, so it brings it down to, of course, $11.99. And then, of course, you have that 5% code, which will drop it down even more. That means you can add another 2,042 watt-hours of power to this kit by adding extra batteries at a great price point. Amazing kit batteries. They're beautifully well done. Now, yes, these systems sit on this table for these shows for purposes. I'm going to tell you, though, it's a lot of weight sitting on that table. You have 64 pounds for the station alone, so please be careful when lifting them if you have to lift them up and stuff. It's just one of those things, you know, but that's why they have those large wheels. So, any question? Yeah, it is definitely a big boy. I love it. It is a little bit more to move around, but that's why they add that handle. That's why they add those wheels. It's a really great idea that they add all that. Now, like I said, guys, in the original at the beginning, we're going to talk about these clips one more time. This, of course, is your DC plug for the solar panels. Now, you're going to have, of course, the 7909 to USB-C port right here. This is the 8020 to USB-C port. My bad. 8020 to USB-C port. Then you're going to have the 8020 plug, which is going to work on the 1500 all the way up to the 3000 Pro and the 1000 V2. Now, with that, of course, you're going to have, of course, the 7909 plug that's going to work on the 1000 all the way down to the 100 plus. Now, the 100 plus, of course, is going to have to use the USB-C port because it uses the USB-C port to charge. This is, of course, your cabling that's going to plug into the power station. The opposite side will go into your solar panel. It can go into like the Mini 40, which is right here. So this is the Mini 40, and on the side, you're going to have this little plug that opens up right there. And then you'll take this cabling and you'll actually slide it in there, and you'll have it connected. You'll take the opposite side and plug it into the station of your choice to actually connect up and start solar charging. So that's how those plugs work. It's just a very simplified piece of technology for that. Now we're going to talk about the Mini 40 because this is a $99 price tag today. It's usually about $129. This is going to work on a lot of the smaller stations. Fully waterproof, water resistant. Has a nice magnetic clasp that folds up. It has a beautiful logo. Has, of course, the eye ringlets. It's going to allow you to tie it down. Fully waterproof, water resistant. It's a trifold design, but it is, of course, a quad panel. Now, this is a beautiful little piece that's under 3 pounds of weight. Monocrystalline solar cells is going to grab about 23% efficiency in converting light into power for you guys, even in lower light settings, which is kind of cool. What I can tell you, though, is if you have a really, really cloudy day, your chances of converting that power may be a little bit less with that. Now, 40 watts at 18 volts is a great price point. Now, of course, it is a single side style, so you have that single side for you. When you're done, clip it, put it away. This is notebook size. This can fit in a backpack. It's 12 inches high by, of course, 10 inches wide by ½ inch thick. This is simple. This is nice, sized, portable, and a great price point at $99 for you. Now, with that, we're going to talk about the 100-watt solar panel. Now, the 100-watt solar panel is going to be able to work on the 100 plus all the way up to the 1500, I believe. Now, this is the 100-watt solar saga. This will work on the 240, 300, 500, 600 V2s. It'll work on the 1000 V2 if you want to, the 1000, the 1000 Pro, the 1500, the 1500 Pro stations. Now, it is a bifold design. You're going to have, of course, these magnets. The magnets will hold it closed. There's a monocrystalline solar cell. If I actually tip this, you guys can hopefully you guys can see the light right there grabbing on that growing. crystalline solar cells, fully waterproof, water resistant, harsh and wet weather. It is a TPE rubber handle with the TFE style case. Actually has a cable package on the back that zips up and opens. It's going to have a 9.5-foot cable, which has got the dual DC plugs, the 7909, and of course the other one as well. It's a cable. It's also got another adapter down there. You can plug a USB-C port or a USB-A device in and charge those devices off of this. This is an amazing little piece, an amazing solar panel for you guys if you need the 100-watt panel. Now we're going to talk about the last product in the carousel, and that's going to be the 200-watt Solar Saga. Now the 200-watt panel is their largest panel. I do apologize. Actually, we have... I did not see this, guys. I do apologize. We actually have the 100 prime panel in the carousel. So I actually have the 100 prime panel here. I did not see this in the carousel. I will actually talk about the 100 prime panel. Now, the 100 prime panel is a beautiful panel at $299. It is an IP68 waterproof rating. Will do about 25% conversion rate in efficiency of converting. Now, this is a modular panel that can actually work all the way down to minus 40 Celsius for you guys if you need to, all the way up to 85 degrees Celsius. Now, this is, of course, a modular system. It's going to come with, of course, all the cabling and connects and pieces. Now, I'm going to actually grab this because I did not notice that that Lois put the 100 prime in here. And I do want to show you guys this. This is one we don't show a lot. So I'm going to grab this. This is the 100 prime. Now, the 100 prime is a fixed panel. So it is a one-piece panel. It has got, of course, the glass on top. Now, it's a little bit dusty because it's in the corner. I wished I would have known it was in here, or I would have pulled it out and showed you guys. On the back, show you guys the metal housing. It does have a metal housing all the way around. The metal housing has, of course, bolt holes, so you can mount it to the brackets that comes with this kit. This is actually kind of cool. I love this beautiful piece right here. I love it. It even comes with, of course, the cabling. Now, the cabling's a little different. I want to show you guys this. This, of course, cabling is right here. It's got the DC plug, but if I pop it off, it's also got the Anderson clip. So it does have the Anderson clip for that plug. They do make an Anderson clip that goes to single to dual for you guys. So if you guys need to add a second one, they have that option for you as well. So this is a really cool solar panel. This is their newest 100-watt panel. This is meant for like RVs, your houses, the top of your vans. This is a beautiful modular piece. I did not see that, so we're definitely showing you guys this with this. I do apologize. I had no clue this was in here. Just beautiful, beautiful solar panel. So definitely check that out for those of you that want to have a nice fixed panel. All right, now we're going to talk about the 200-watt panel. Now, the 200-watt Solar Saga is their largest solar panel. Yeah, there are a lot of options. I definitely agree with that. I'm actually going to pop over here. We're going to come over here, and we're going to pull up, of course, this video. This is me pulling out the 200-watt panel. Now, the 200-watt panel is going to work on the 1000 V2. Yeah, it's going to work on the 1000 V2. It's also going to work on a bunch of other stuff. Justin, did you see that? So it's going to work on the 1000 V2. It's going to work on the 1500 Pro, the 2000 Pro, the 2000 Plus, and the 3000 Pro piece, which is amazing. Now, with this, it's going to do about 24.3% efficiency in converting power with this one. It is a quad panel trifold design with this. Now, nice, large, beautiful panel. Takes less than 30 seconds to set up, which is amazing. Now, of course, with this, it does weigh a little bit. It's about 21 pounds. So do know it weighs a little bit. It does have a 9.5-foot cable. The cable does, of course, have a 90-degree plug and a straight plug for you guys if you have the options. It's a beautiful piece. It's going to do 200 watts of connectability, 200 watts of power at 18 volts in the system. Now, Less than 30 seconds with this, you guys will have it connected up. You're plugged in. Hey, Binda, how you doing, buddy? And that's where you're going to be plugged in. And now with that, of course, this is where it gets cool. Once it's plugged in, you're going to notice from the moment I plug it in to the moment I turn the station on and then grab my camera, within 10 seconds, it's already pulling over 153 watts of power into, of course, the device. If you had 6 of these on that 3000 Pro system, you'll have it charged in under 2.5 hours. That's beautiful. I think it's like 3 hours, but it's really amazingly well done. It's a lot of power to charge this device. Now, it's that simple. Plug it in on the back. You're hooked up. You're good to go. And, of course, you have that big, beautiful solar panel in your yard or on your options where you're camping, traveling, or wherever you want, even at the racetrack. Maybe you guys do the racetrack. It'll allow you to do that. It's an amazing piece. Now, normally $700. It's 14% off. It's like $599 today. An amazing deal. Bunch of great power stations, bunch of great options. So if you guys need, check them out. And don't forget that 5% code of anything over $1,000 tonight on your Jackery stations. Yeah, Justin. So, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. I will tell you guys, this sale is going to last till, I believe, the 8th. So don't sleep on this sale. I'm actually going to be back here on the 8th, I think. So we have another stream on the 8th. You guys are going to see me around here a few times this month, hopefully. And, of course, you guys will enjoy this. Now, like always, don't forget to give a follow on that little follow button down there. Also, hit that live notification so you guys can actually see us live here. And you won't miss us when we go live. I want to thank everybody for being here. I've had a lot of fun. It is definitely a Labor Day, of course. It's Labor Day. It's Monday. Tomorrow's the beginning of the work week for most of us. So I hope you guys have a great one, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Have a great night, everybody.